This animation overlays colors representing travel times from Waterfront Station in downtown Vancouver in relation to the time of day at which you departed. While this map is intriguing, there are a few things that it doesn't show. The colors do not directly represent service levels within a certain area, though the travel times in many areas are indicative of the service levels. While looking at the map, when the clock says 0800, that means that the colors elsewhere tell you how long from 0800 it will take you to get there. In this case, Langley Centre could be reached within about an hour and 40 minutes, while you would arrive in Chilliwack roughly 4 hours after your departure at 0800. While this may seem self-evident, we will move to another time of day to explain why it's important to remember that the colors represent the time it will take you to get to the destination and not the service levels at the destination at the time of your departure. Let's move ahead to midnight. You'll notice that the furthest you can get at this point is Langley, though the travel time isn't excessive at an agreeable 1 hour and 40 minutes. Moving ahead to about 0200, we can see why it's important not to interpret this map as an indication of where you can catch a bus at the given time. I can assure you that there are no buses operating in Aldergrove at 0200, and yet we have a color over the Aldergrove area. This is because, were you to leave at 0200 from Waterfront Station, the slower night routes would drop you close to your transfer point, where you would have to then wait for quite a while, adding more and more time. And by the time you waited and eventually got off the earliest 5:03 in Aldergrove, the entire journey would have taken about 4 hours, dropping you at roughly 6 o'clock in Aldergrove. This map is only effective one way, and it's only effective from downtown Vancouver. I'll be making a tutorial where I go over what this map represents more in depth, including how far someone is willing to walk to get to the bus and so on, but that's not what this video is for. I'll now overlay the rapid transit network and the West Coast Express so that you can see how their availability affects travel times to other areas from Waterfront Station. Now you should note that Mission is only quickly accessible in the afternoon, as once again this map is only about departing from Waterfront Station. Were this map about getting to Waterfront Station, Mission would only be easily accessible in the morning. Next, I'll overlay the FTN, the Frequent Transit Network. While these buses aren't fast, they mean that there is minimal waiting, cutting some time off travel times, and making people in these areas less reluctant to use transit. Travel times in the Vancouver core area generally are slightly shorter around the frequent transit network. Finally, to explain how someone would be getting to Chilliwack, I'll overlay the Fraser Valley Express as well as all the major infrequent services that would allow for a connection to this service, including from Lougheed Town Centre, from Surrey, and from Langley Centre. The FVX itself is quite infrequent at less than once an hour, but still allows for someone to travel as far as downtown Chilliwack, depending on the time. It should be noted that I have not included existing intercity services such as eBus, Wilson's, Mountain Man, Mike's Bus, or Adventure Charters, or any of the other intercity services. Had I done so, at certain times of day, Abbotsford and Chilliwack would show up as a burst of yellow-green, as the travel time would be just over an hour to Abbotsford and just over an hour and a half to Chilliwack. One main deficiency with this map is that the transit network schedules I used did not yet include R3 Marine Drive, though I've included it here on the overlaid map. As Marine Drive was already part of the frequent transit network prior to R3's introduction, its effect is going to be pretty small, though undoubtedly noticeable. If you're interested in what the map would look like with this service considered, check out my tutorial where I'll be using current transit data and you'll have a chance to create a map of your own. The tutorial will be aimed at people like me, people who have absolutely no foundation knowledge before starting. The program I used to create this map, OpenTripPlanner, or OTP, is a Java program, and therefore it's a little difficult for a beginner to grasp, and I still find it difficult to grasp. The document is definitely not aimed at novices. It took me quite a while following different tutorials and applying different information I could find online to figure out what I was supposed to do at all. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to showing you future videos. Don't forget to subscribe.